All right, welcome back to our 5-minute fractions. We are now going to start our subtracting fractions. So another review with that. So make sure you have out your guided notes and let's go ahead and get started. And as a reminder from last time, whether you are adding or subtracting fractions, both fractions must have the same denominator, that same bottom number. And this is called a common denominator. That same number, they have to have it. You cannot add or subtract until they have a common one. So this one's nice and easy for us because they have that same common denominator of 16. Therefore, we don't need to do anything but start to subtract. All right, so we have 5/16 minus 3/16. Remember, we do not subtract our denominators though, all right? We're talking about 16 pieces of something. And if I have 5 of them in those size of slices, say, and I take away 3 of them, I've got 2 and still bringing over that 16, right? That we don't take 16 minus 16, that'd be 0, so that wouldn't make any sense anyways. Now from here though, we gotta keep simplifying. So we know that 2's gotta go into itself, no other number besides 1. 2 divided by 2, we get 1. 16 divided by 2, we get 8. So that is completely then simplified. So our answer for that is 1/8. Make sure you are still simplifying. That's going to be a big part of this as well. All right, and then what made this finding super easy? Well, they had that common denominator. That makes it nice and friendly for us. All right, so let's go ahead and do some more subtracting. And as another reminder, to add or subtract fractions must have the same denominator. We're going to keep making sure we underline that so we remember that part about our fractions when we add and subtract. All right, let's go ahead and look at our very first problems. We got 2/3 minus 2/5. Now back to our reminder, we cannot subtract those without finding that common denominator. So we have 3 and 5 as our denominators, and we skip count. We got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and I know 5 is going to go into 15 as well. So our common denominator is going to become 15. All right, and then I took 3 times 5. To get 15, what I do to the bottom, I've got to do to the top. So we're going to take 5 times 2. Don't forget that step. That we don't bring that 2 down. You've got to move the fractions together. All right, and then we took 5 times 3 to get 15. So we're going to take 2 times 3 to get 6. Now we have our same nice friendly common denominators. Now I can subtract. So we've got 10 minus 6. I get 4. We don't take 15 minus 15. That denominator stays as 15. And I can't simplify that anymore, so this is my final answer. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our second question. All right, we have 7/12 minus 1/3. Well, not a same common denominator, so we need to find one, and usually we can tell that 3 is going to go for 12, so our denominator is going to become 12. Sorry, I'll change the color for that. All right, let's see if this color works now. All right, so we don't take anything for this problem, so this still stays 7/12, all right? Nothing changes there. And then our next one, we know we had to get 3 times something to get 12, and we maybe remember 3 times 4 gives me that 12 down here. What I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top. So we've got 1 times 4 gives me 4. Now we've got that common denominator of 12. Now I can go ahead and subtract. So I'm going to take 7 minus 4 and get 3. We don't take any 12s away, so it becomes 3 12s. Now, it's not simplified. That's not my final answer. So I got to think. Maybe look at my multiplication chart. What number goes into 3 and 12? Well, 3. 3 goes into 12, so we're going to divide each side by 3, the bottom and the top. 3 divided by itself is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So let me write that up here. 1/4 then is our simplified answer, making sure you are simplifying. All right, just one last review, just the same as adding with fractions, the same as for subtracting, all right? Make sure you've got that common denominator before you do anything. You have to. All right, then go ahead and add and subtract just the numerators because we are never, ever, ever subtracting the denominator. Ever, ever, ever. T Swift. You guys love my singing, I'm sure. All right, and then our final step is making sure you simplify. All right, make sure you remember these rules for when you start your practice.